It's funny, man. Andy's always talking about like how bad the toilet is. Dude, your sink has a 5 o'clock shadow. That's the sink's growing a beard. Oh. Your sink looks like 70s hustler pussy. Which is why I licked it all up. And now I now have hepatitis C. Okay. This is great. Yep. As Femi said, yeah, none of the people that I'm about to shit on are here, and probably 70% of you don't even know who these people are. So this is going to be hilarious for you. It's going to make a lot of sense. Yeah, I didn't write jokes for everyone. Nothing personal. It's just some of you aren't worth it. But the rest of you aren't worth it either, so it's confusing. Okay. Yeah. Hey, Dan Berlin. I guess he's... Can you hear me from Mercer Island? That fucking 90210 fucking fag party you're at or whatever. Bunch of fucking pussies. Or some fucking open micer's fucking girlfriend that no one cares about. Cool. Hey, you're missing out on the Edgelord gathering.
Here, dumbass.
Dan Berlin. Oh shit. Oh my god. Am I a god? I have godlike powers. I conjured you for you so you can hear my shitty roast joke about you. All right, you ready? You fucking prepared? Dan Berlin, your eye wanders more than my attention span during your sets. It's like Dan looks at you and it's like he looks right through you, or right around you, or right under you, or we don't really know where he's looking, but that's a joke about a genetic disability. That he has no control over. That's why it's funny. Paunch, you motherfucker. I first saw Paunch perform at the tent. The tent was like a outdoor COVID mic that we did on Capitol Hill. It was like a improvised structure. When I first saw Paunch perform at the tent, since I first saw Paunch perform at the tent, I have to say he has really expanded as a comedian and as a diabetic. Paunch no longer performs at tents, just wears them. Paunch is Mexican, and he has a joke about how that in Seattle he has little access to Mexican culture, particularly the food. But I think we more than make up for it with all of our leaf blowers. Femi's here. Yeah, that's a miracle that someone's here. When Femi hosts an open mic, his intros have it all, except brevity. Even if you're number one on the list, you still have time to get a cigarette, a drink, a civil engineering degree, maybe raise a family, and not miss your set. Casey. Yeah, this is his favorite part of the show. Yeah, yes. You know, Casey made Bruce Mike, another comedian, made a movie about Casey, proving Casey is the main character and we are all just extras in his movie. And unsurprisingly, it's a really shitty movie. Since I've known Casey, he's gone from kiddie porn to kidney porn. You know, he's like, ooh, a twosome. You know? During funerals, they say people are with us in spirit, but Casey's lost so many body parts. That's already true. That's... He's gonna die. Really, he's gonna die. Do you guys have? How's the ambulance service in Renton? That's. Casey recently had some tubes in his chest removed because they needed them for someone worth saving. Okay, that's. All right. Okay. Sorry. All right. I'm sorry. I'm done. I won't be too mean. I won't be too. Sorry. I love you, man. Yes. It's true. My parents weren't married. John Banning. Yeah, you remember him, right? The motivational speaker from before. The white supremacist blueberry farmer. John Banning, the only white Uber Eats driver in Seattle. He's like a plantation owner picking cotton. Or a high school graduate at a Juggalo gathering. Like it's... Laura Lyons, or as we should call her now, Lawyer Lyons. Yeah, she's Laura Lyons. She's also not here. Laura Lyons. This is real inside baseball. The Laura Lyons, the Oscar Schindler of the Seattle comedy scene because of all the lists. Except Oscar Schindler's list had Jews on it, so his list might have actually helped some comedians. Laura is now a defense attorney for sex offenders, so she will just continue her current lifestyle of getting rapists off. Yeah. Robbie Schrader. Yeah, my ride. Robbie and his brother-in-law have a clothing company called Nitpick Collective. This joke is sponsored by Nitpick Collective. They actually donate a lot of their clothing to the homeless who coincidentally all happen to perform at comedy open mics around the Puget Sound region. All proceeds were raised by the sale of one sweatshirt in 2021. We all know Robbie is multi-skilled, you know, DJing, illustrating, glass blowing. Well, those are the ones he's good at. That's. Oh wait, there's another one, pizza delivery driver. No, Robbie's very funny. You know, one time I said, hey Robbie, call me a pizza, and he said, you're a pizza, and then I was like, cool, deliver me to my house, because I mooch rides off him all the time. I wrote some fat jokes that I could use either for Joe Gomez or Brandon White. Are either one of you here? Oh my God. So Brandon White / Joe Gomez thinks donuts are a diet food because of the empty space in the middle. Joe Gomez / Brandon White thinks Butterface is a compliment because he's like, hey, your face looks like my favorite thing. Dennis Stamper. Do you guys even know him? Like, I don't even. Hey, the comics even know him? I only see Dennis at 907.
Yeah, that's all he says.
Yeah, Dennis. Well, I was gonna say with that. Well, if you've seen his picture on Facebook, Dennis, that beard, you look like an Amish wigger. The only comedian who I see bomb by candlelight. Mitch Schaub is part Native American, or to be politically correct, 50% Elizabeth Warren. One time I saw Mitch with braids, and I was like, oh, that's so sweet. I just want to wrap you in a blanket and give you smallpox. Tony Peters, Also here. Yeah, Tony Peters is a dad. You can tell by his jokes. But by being a dad, Tony is making a contribution to society by providing employment to people at CPS. Banji, also not here. Banji, is he?
You can't see him.
Ah! Oh man, you're stepping on your own jokes, Dan. No. Banji is the most well-spoken comic in Seattle. I've never heard him end a sentence with a preposition or a premise with a punchline. Jay Jennings says in a joke that the men in his family used to get the name Adolf. But for obvious reasons, they didn't use it for Jay, because as we know, Adolf was actually memorable. Speaking of Hitler, Noah Rubin is a Jew. There aren't a lot of Jews in Seattle, but I think anyone who sits through one of Noah's sets should be considered a Holocaust survivor. Noah does a lot of jokes about his divorce, but if Noah's marriage was saved, we would also be saved from his comedy. Max Nelson works at a bake. Yeah, is that? Oh, hey, what's up, Max? How you doing, man?
What's up, man?
All right, you're not.
I'm amazing.
You're not. You've changed, Max.
I changed.
Max Nelson works at a bakery owned by his sister. On his first day, she said, "Make the cake batter." And Max looked around at all the women in there and replied, "Can I please do the battering myself?"
God damn.
Not surprisingly, Max finally grew a mustache. Maybe next year he'll get his learner's permit. That's not really an insult. Everybody wants to look young. So anyway, congratulations to Max on his engagement to Rick Taylor. I hope Bobby Higley isn't too jealous. Michael Aguilera, also not here, right? Always makes these Facebook posts saying that he loves comedy, that he thinks comedy is amazing, which confirms what I already knew, that Michael knows nothing about comedy. Brad Duncan, for all your faults, you have some good qualities. Like when we're at a bar, at some point, you always leave. Even better, sometimes you don't show up at all. Keep up the good work. Speaking of Brad Duncan, Peter Artman, Brad Duncan, what's the difference? You both look like high school bullies from 80s movies. Peter Artman, you're a straight Robert Pitty. That's Peter Artman sells beds for a living. He is an excellent mattress salesman. He can sell anything. Peter just has the customer lay down on the mattress and starts telling his jokes. They're like, best sleep of my life. All right, finally, Andy Harter. I've known Andy for about 5 years, and in that time, he's told the same number of jokes. If plate tectonics were a joke writer, it would be Andy Harter. Coincidentally, we've started measuring his move to Austin in geological time. Andy's 46, right? But that doesn't reflect who he is. Based on who he is, it's better to say Andy's 322 years old in dog years, 3,680 years old in cannabis plant years, and 32,000 years old in daytime stripper lap dance years. Speaking of rides, Andy's giving me a lot of rides with his car. This, not. It's not like that. Andy drives a Mercedes, which we're all supposed to be impressed by. And it is impressive because it has 2 horns. One for his mom and one for women who aren't whores. Because your mom's a whore. It's a classic. No, I only say that because of how often you see Andy's mom at Planned Parenthood.
My mom protests.
She actually.
Context there.
Yeah. No, I got that. I got you, man. No, his mom, she actually protests Planned Parenthood.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's all right, dude. It's fine. You're just, it's good to see you do some writing once in a while. This is the big finish.
All right.
Yeah, I only say that because of how often you see Andy's mom at Planned Parenthood. She protests Planned Parenthood because ever since Andy was born, she's been trying to get a refund. All right, I've been Jason McBride.
Woo! Thanks, Jason.
Thank you, Andy. Thank you, guys. It was a lot of fun.